Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Elseworlds Exchange, the comic book discussion series with me and Cape Joel chatting about comics, specifically one topic derived from some kind of comic-related thing for about an hour. I'm Sal.
Oh, yeah, and I'm Joel.
Yeah, welcome to the show, everybody. Today, it's going to be superhero day job pitches. Joel, what was your first job when you were a kid?
My first job, mowing lawns.
Really? Mowing lawns?
Yes.
As a kid, I lived in the woods, and I really wanted to do that because I had all the materials. I had the youthful energy, the free lawnmower, and the drive and the desire for funds. I lived in the woods. My neighbors were all far away and also had like lawns triple the size of mine. So not only was it impractical, it was unfeasible. Nobody was interested in the job. I couldn't ever get anybody home long enough to actually talk to them. So I had to go the old-fashioned way and become a lifeguard.
If it makes you feel better, I did have to commute for this gig because, again, I lived in the sticks, too. I also lived in the country.
Right.
I had to go to the new subdivision over a ways where my uncle lived, and he put in a good word for me. So I had like 4 lawns that I cut for like $20 a pop during the summer, which wasn't too bad during the summer. I think I bought, my PlayStation 2 with that money back in the day.
Now, that's funny because you had a summer job, I had a summer job. That was our first jobs, I guess, was the summertime. I assume because it didn't interfere with our schooling. Our folks were probably very similar in that regard.
Absolutely.
I transitioned over from a lake to the YMCA, so that job could continue into school and into college, actually. I was working as a lifeguard, which was just, ugh. I really wanted to be I wanted to work at the video store.
Of course, who wouldn't?
Right, of course. But number one, they were impossible to get. Those jobs were held like grim death by the people who occupied them.
Yep.
And my mom also had a real derision for it. She was like, no, you're not working in retail. And I'm like, retail's where everybody I know is working. What are you talking about? That sounds great. And I get to sit around in an air-conditioned room and bitch about movies. This sucks. I'm sitting in a chair in 90-degree weather watching you swim. That blows.
I can live the clerk's dream. Why won't you let me live my dream?
Exactly. It wasn't until like right before this channel went off that I actually got a job kind of jockeying register, and it was at a comic book store. It's the first register I worked as a job.
Oh.
And it was just like to pay to allow me to use the comic book store as a studio space.
Right, because I'm guessing that was the first couple years of TV Little House where you guys did filming inside a store.
Exactly. And man, totally not worth it. So
no, I'm guessing not. I never worked retail. I was very close to working retail. Like you, I always wanted to get the job at the local Blockbuster, but again, held on to them like grim death, and I never had a chance to. And I wasn't going to flip burgers. I wasn't going to do anything like that.
Fair enough. The reason why I ask is because, Joel, this is a topic that's near and dear to your heart. We did an episode called Superhero Day Jobs where we just talked about the jobs that our favorite superheroes' secret identities do during the day.
One of my favorite episodes we've done. I thought that was super creative.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Lawyers, reporters, Horizon Lab technicians. But in this case, we're going to talk about basically pitching jobs that we think that these heroes would be as qualified, if not better qualified for.
And the stories we could get out of their job change, because that was the big takeaway from our job episode, is that when done right, a good superhero job informs the stories.
Absolutely. No, and that's what excited me about this discussion was the idea of the story potential that came from it. Before we jump in, Mod King Mopey saying Doom should be a dentist like his cousin. Doom's cousin was a dentist. That does not surprise me in the least. And of course, I don't think Doom has the patience or the tolerance for pain. He does have a tolerance for pain, but not. I don't think he's as empathetic as he should be.
Although there's a lot of really crappy dentists out there, of course, as in the song, I am your dentist, I'm basically a sadist, and I'm enjoying this way too much.
That's true. So, I'm going to let you take point on this one. I've got a couple of ideas, but I really want to just hear the main crux of your pitches for the most part. So,
all right.
Without further ado, which character are we going to start with?
All right, so I actually came out with a couple pitches for each, and then for some heroes, I only got 1 or 2. I did a mix of Marvel and DC. Let's start with a biggie. Let's start with Batman here, and this is rough because it's hard to top billionaire playboy, because then you really have to ask yourself, what is Bruce Wayne the guy qualified to do that won't instantly out him as being Batman?
It's true. Well, and moreover, how's he going to get that job? He has absolutely no previous work experience. He could be a philanthropist, but that doesn't really exactly pay well.
No, it really doesn't. The tack that I took for it is like, well, his dad was a doctor, yes.
Yeah.
And in some versions of the story where it's like, what if Martha Kane was actually like Martha Arkham? Wouldn't it be interesting if Batman decided to roll up his sleeves and say, you know what? I'm going to hit the books. I'm going to get a doctorate if I don't have one already. I traveled the world for a bit and studied a lot. What if he became a psych doctor? What if he was like, I'm sick of how things work here at Arkham. You doctors are doing a shitty job. I'm going to get in here and try and fix the villains that I beat the shit out of.
Wow. So would it be a story where he patrols the streets of Gotham as Batman by night, and during the day he tries to rehabilitate them at Arkham?
Yes, and to be like, isn't that a little messed up that you beat them up, arrest them, and then try and help them afterwards? Aren't you doing this completely backwards?
Yeah, that sounds horrifying. I mean, it sounds like a really dynamite story that really delves into the built-in hypocrisy of Bruce Wayne and Batman. But it's also like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I do like the idea of Bruce Wayne pursuing his doctorate. I would have done that maybe during the time when he was like on Dionysium and he was just like,
yeah.
But unfortunately he couldn't remember who he is. But it would have been nice to see him being like, when he doesn't know who he is and he's just kind of like on autopilot, he follows his father's footsteps. Like he gets into medical school and starts like working on that.
He kind of sort of did. He worked at like an outreach place. He worked at like a big brother, little brother place where I'm like, yeah, okay, I could see him doing that because he's good with kids, Bruce Wayne. We know that much.
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely. As long as you can, as long as he's got bottomless wealth, he can definitely supply them all the race car beds he needs. And of course, like, yeah, and the finest education, not a great health program because most of them get beaten to death by crowbars, but
Yeah, it happens,
You're gonna lose a few,
You're gonna lose a few. It's just it's a numbers game, really.
Yeah. I actually didn't even bother to come up with one for Batman because I was like, dude's not gonna get a job. Like, he's like, why would I ever work? Like,
it's hard because it's like he would need to lose all his money and have to start over. Is the thing?
Yeah, the only other job I could see for Bruce Wayne, besides like the medical field, is I could see him becoming a politician.
Yeah, local politics. I almost put that in because, as we've seen, you need no political aspirations or even knowledge to be elected to high offices in the land. But Green Arrow technically already did it.
Yes, but I would love to see. Remember when Superman ran for president? It'd be great to see Batman run for president, because then people start because then you get all the fun like year or two long stories where it's like people are like, well, what qualifications does Batman or does Bruce Wayne have? Where does he go? Then they start looking into his finances, and then Batman's like, oh shit, I didn't think this through hard enough.
But Bruce Wayne, when will you reveal your tax information?
Exactly, like you could really play with that story, and ultimately, he gets like you do the Colbert thing in the Marvel universe, where like a technicality, he loses the primary, he doesn't blah blah blah, whatever you do to get the genie back in the bottle and make him go away. But like
it would be fun
for a little while. Billionaire playboy philanthropist Bruce Wayne toyed with the idea of running for president, and wouldn't that be just like him? The public,
it would be
the public persona of Bruce Wayne. That is,
it is, and then it would also kind of be a thing too, where in the back of Batman's mind, maybe he grows to like it, where it stops being a stunt, where he's like, I could actually enact some real serious change if I had a little bit of political muscle here instead of just money.
Yeah, the fact that he's like a master tactician, it'd be funny to have like, I don't know, Cobblepot run for president or something. And Wayne's like, okay, I've got the plan. I'm going to snipe the primary from him, and then I'm going to torch it. Like, I'm just going to completely nosedive it, so that basically I'm just going to prevent him from running for president.
Ooh, I'm going to create my own scandals and everything. But wouldn't it be funny that the scandals he tries to create only makes him more popular?
Exactly! And then he's like, oh no! Like, I might actually become president! Oh no! And he's like talking to Clark, and he's like, all right, I guess I'm going to have to start, like, building a cabinet. Like, he's getting closer and closer to the end game where he's like, the numbers are in, and I'm swamped. Like, I'm doing great. What am I gonna do? Like,
hey, Black Lightning, you're a principal. Do you want to be my head of education?
Right? Like, he begs Gordon for help. Gordon's like, absolutely not. Like,
please.
Gordon's like, no. Like, yeah, you're gonna be my like secretary of crime or something. He's like, no, I have no interest in that. Get away from it. It actually strains their relationship. Like that kind of thing.
This sounds like a Killer Elseworlds is what this sounds like.
You could do this in current continuity. Like, you could do
this
now. You could have years worth of... They sank Gotham into a hole in the ground for a couple of years. You could definitely do a year where Bruce Wayne toys with the idea of running for president.
I like it.
That's a fucking pitch.
I like it a lot.
But I also like the idea of him being like I'm my father and I'm going to become a doctor. Like I remember having that sobering conversation with a friend of mine whose parents are in the medical field, and he was a self-made person, and he was like,
right.
We were talking one day, and I was like, what would you do if you decided not to do this like 20 years ago? And he was like, and he clearly no one had ever asked him that question before, and he's like, I don't know. Like, I guess I would have gone in the medical field. And I'm like, really? Like, talk about that. And he's like, well, I can't. I've never thought about it before. And I'm like, that'd be fun to see, like, Bruce Wayne, like, ask him, like, hey, Bruce, if you didn't have money, what would you do?
Exactly. And it's a fun thing, too, where it's like, what does Batman know? He knows mental illness really well because he fights it and he's afflicted with it. And it would be one of those doctor fix thyself moments.
Yeah.
Where,
like, him interviewing and trying to rehabilitate the criminals he deals with is also him like working through his own shit where he's like you find out Bruce Wayne the doctor like really has a problem with Batman.
Yeah, especially too because so many of Batman's villains represent a type of psychosis that is true in Batman himself.
Right, exactly. No, I'm so on board for either of these pitches, man. So far we're batting 1,000. We're doing well.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Yeah. So all right, Batman. That one's done. That one's ours. That's got the Elseworld stamp on it. What else you got?
Do you want me to do another DC one, or should I go and do a Marvel
let's
one?
Let's switch it to Marvel. Let's switch gears.
All right, let's do one here. So the Hulk is back in a big way right now, and he's kind of doing his, leather tramp bum thing again. I don't have a job. I'm just wandering across America.
Yeah, I know.
It's been hard for him to keep a job. Usually he's like, in the last couple of years, he was a scientist for S.H.I.E.L.D. He was a scientist for this, that, and the other. I actually really tried to research this. I actually looked, what are the most stress-free and stress-relieving jobs out there? Mm-hmm. Because obviously Banner can't have anything too stressful or he'll be a danger to himself and anyone out there.
Precisely.
I actually found out, according to statistics, the most stress-free job, and it's something in the science field, and it's something he could definitely do, is sleep technician.
Oh, yeah, that's a great way to do something with Banner while also playing with the Hulk. Sleep technician.
And he can run off and fight crime because be like, yeah, they were asleep.
Right, exactly. Like, the machines do all the work. I just have to be here.
Yeah, I just got to frickin' be here, and I can be smart. And imagine the messed up people I can meet who it's like, oh, I have a sleep problem. Oh, it's because you're actually a supervillain. Or, oh, you actually have gamma poisoning. And, I figured this out because I'm Bruce Banner.
You get a great Sleepwalker crossover.
See, there you go.
Yeah. I like that. That's a fun idea. It's funny. It informs the story in as much as like it could be like a subplot where it's like this is what Bruce Banner does during his spare time, or it's like just a throwaway thing where it's like, well, there goes another job. Like, what jobs? Bruce, you get jobs? Yeah, I was a sleep technician. Like, why? Like, because it's the most stressful job I could find.
Have they said how he makes his money? I'm assuming he owns patents on a bunch of the stuff that he did as a scientist, and he gets like residuals every so often.
Yeah, I assume he has a passive income.
Right. Then some other fun ones I toyed around with. Yoga instructor, as we saw in the Ed Norton movie, he did a bunch of stuff to try and, calm himself and to find inner peace, as well as massage therapist. Because, it's just, Banner's just got to be cool, man. You just got to keep it easy.
I also had massage therapist, and I like that idea because it allows him to tap into a different kind of strength. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's all about like you can even get this hilarious scene where he's like massaging someone's back and they're like, oh, Banner, you're the strongest one there is.
Exactly. See, we're on the same wavelength here.
Exactly. Any of these are fun. I like that. I mean, like, it's funny, I discount Banner because I never think about him because he's always secondary to.
It's true. And it's a shame. I love what Al Ewing's been doing right now, making it like a crazy mystery story.
Yeah, that'd be nice. What was it? I read the third issue, whatever issue it was, where it was like an annual, and it was like, what the hell are we doing?
Oh, that third issue was the weakest one. I don't know why they put that one in there. The other three have been great.
That's great. Mr. Roboto in the super chat referring to our previous employment saying, so you became Kevin Smith and Ben Affleck instead. That's true. Creed Luvari, Bruce should work at Batburger, as experienced in the Tom King run. It'd be fun to see him like own Batburger and like he has to go like mandated as a manager to some of them.
No one sees it coming.
Yeah. Cam, evening, folks. Sal, I got the chance to run into you at Vulgarthon. I was the dude wearing the Rockin' Flamingo shirt. Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you very much, Cam. And yes, of course, I remember you, sir. How could I forget the Rockin' Flamingo shirt? It was great seeing you. I'm glad you got we got to snap a picture. That was great. Yeah, that was a really hella cool experience going to Vulgarthon and at this show where I'm there to meet and talk to people that I admire, running into people that are that dig what we do.
I saw your pictures from that. It looked like a blast.
It was a blast. Although it was the hottest goddamn day of the year. Chase Eichler, Frank Castle should have a mini where he runs a Cheers-like bar, another Marvel character stop in to razz him all the time. That'd be awesome.
He does. He would be a really good surly bartender, and he wouldn't need a bouncer. He'd be his own bouncer.
Exactly. That's a great way to, you have him get basically caught or arrested, but, S.H.I.E.L.D. pulls some strings or whatever S.H.I.E.L.D. is now, and, you have it be okay, you have to. It's like community service, and he has an ankle bracelet, and it's
yes,
you're relegated to this bar, and it's you think you're reading the book what? Frank Castle runs a bar? That doesn't make any sense. Where is the oversight? And then somebody leaves the bar, and then you see 16 snipers in different locations just watching the door, and you're oh, it's a prison, not a bar.
That's I know you never played the Yakuza games, but there was a plot line in Yakuza Zero that was basically that a very influential mobster was forced to run a cabaret club and make it a success because that was his gilded cage prison. Whereas if you leave town, we will kill you.
Right. That's a cool idea.
But if you make enough money at this thing, we'll let you go.
Right. Cam back in the super chat also, has Invisible Woman ever had a cool job of her own away from Reed? And then he pitches an idea of making her Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something cool like Sal suggested once. I did suggest that Sue become an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She could freaking go invisible.
Mark Waid did that already.
Did he?
Yes, he did, in a one-shot Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing. It's a really great story. You would dig it. I wish I remember what issue it was, but they imply that not only is she an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., but she's been a secret Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. for years, and because she's invisible, no one ever knew, except for Coulson.
Right, of course. That's fine. That works great. Silvery Cricket Dark Horse suggestion, X-Man who writes erotic romance trash novels based on the romance drama of the X-Men.
Yeah.
I thought I've heard something like that. I want to say Warren Worthington writes erotic or at least trashy romance novels, but I don't don't hold me to that because I don't think that's true.
Like those Amazon ones. I actually have an author pitch for someone.
Right. Me too.
I want Wonder Woman to become a fantasy author. I want her to become like J.K. Rowling, and literally all she's doing is just writing the adventures of young her and her Amazon sisters, and it takes off huge in the young adult market, and Diana Prince becomes a huge multi-selling author.
I really like that. You should even go further, make it her secret identity, and so she has to wear she goes undercover as as her author pseudonym, and she goes to a book signing. Of course, Cheetah shows up or something. It writes itself.
It really does. And again, Wonder Woman is one of those characters. She's had so many jobs and they've never stuck. She's been a diplomat. She's been royalty. She owned a clothing store for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they've never done anything that actually works for a while. And I like the idea that, number one, passive income. She doesn't have to show up every day. Mm-hmm. Number two, it'd be a cute little moment, in Justice League Watchtower. She's like, ooh, and then she, writes something down. What are you writing?
Nothing. Wait a minute, Diana. Are you DP Prince? Are you the writer of this fantasy novel? The Robins love these.
Right. Damien's a secret big fan.
Yeah, that's you. And then you could have like a Game of Thrones thing where she gets a bunch of really angry, pissed off fans. When are you going to release the final book in the series? We'll detonate this nuke if you don't release it.
Right. She's like, I'm sorry, there were all these trees that erupted in the earth, and I had to go to join the Justice League Dark. I was really busy.
Yeah, I'll finish it when it's time. Ooh, and then it gets optioned for a TV deal, and she has to show up to Hollywood and work with those people and be whoa, these are my true life stories.
That's a great idea. Doing where it's they're gonna adapt it. And she's like, no, and then she tries to show them how it's done. No, that's gold. That's so great.
That's my Wonder Woman pitch, everyone. If I ever get a chance to do it, that's what I'm gonna write.
Do you have a Spider-Man pitch?
I do. I have a couple Spider-Man pitches,
let's
actually.
Hear the Spider-Man pitches.
Okay, so obviously Spider-Man, he's a funny guy, right? And he's worked in newspapers forever. What if Spider-Man started a webcomic?
Spider-Man running Dinosaur Comics or something. I mean, who is it that writes those? The dude who writes Squirrel Girl.
Oh yeah. I know the guy you mean.
But he does webcomics, and like they made a prolific career out of it. I could see Spider-Man like doing that, or definitely like working on something web-based. Lol.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the idea of him making a webcomic person. I've never seen him draw, so I don't know if he's like good at it.
He'd get Cap to draw it for him.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Steve, and he should like Spider-Man and Captain America teaming up to do a webcomic is a hilarious concept even in of itself.
It really is. And then again, too, hey, that's a job for Captain America too. I'm a Twitch artist. You didn't know I've been honing my skills for over 100 years.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah. Just you never. He has a pseudonym. You just see his hands and you hear his like his calming voice. I like that too. That's a good Captain America pitch.
Like superhero Bob Ross, and it's like, okay, now I gotta go to work with the Avengers. It's like, Steve, what have you been doing with your time? Oh, nothing. And then they find his channel. Oh my God, Steve is drawing on Twitch.
Yeah. Apropos that, I could see Spider-Man going into our field as a YouTuber and being like, I saw this. There's a new YouTuber who's coming around. He's a lawyer who like watches other law movies, and more or less he's really there to like give.
That's shown up in my feed too, actually.
Yeah, he's giving advice for how to like survive law school. It'd be great to see Spider-Man just like his show is like giving advice to superheroes, where he's like, so yeah, here I am, and like today's my guest is Wolverine. And Wolverine's like, I cannot believe you talked me into being on your couch. This sucks. Like,
stop filming me.
Yeah, just like, and Kamala Khan being like a huge like fangirl about it.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man has like an intermediary who runs it for him.
Right, that's the thing. It's not me who's doing it. It's Peter Parker who's my official videographer.
Yeah, or it's a hobby. Yeah, like Peter Parker does it for him. He's been my photographer for years.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, yeah, obviously we know we have this pre-existing relationship.
Yeah, actually, they could have a little banter, like back and forth. With Peter Parker's behind the camera, and he like ADRs the Peter Parker parts.
Oh, that's smart.
I mean, that's a fun way to make Spider-Man totally irrelevant in 5 years.
I know, right? That's the problem. The more relevant you try and make him now, the weirder it seems.
Yeah.
Here's another funny one I had, just two kind of quick ones.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, the paper server, because he can get in anywhere, he can climb, he can swing, and it would be a nice way, too, to be like, hey, consider yourself served for court, here's papers, and that's how he kind of like keeps on top of like who the really bad people are and everything. Like he's the paper server you need when you gotta serve a criminal.
That is like something that you could do even if you didn't make it a long time status quo thing. That's like Murdoch is like, Pete, I need you to serve this guy. He's been dogging me forever. Like he's been dodging me. I can't get to him. Can you please serve him this subpoena? Like,
yeah,
that'd be amazing. I would like that anyway.
Like the real high risk ones where it's like, yeah, he's a Colombian drug cartel boss. He's paid off the cops. No one will touch him, but you can literally climb down through his skylight and serve him.
Exactly. Like, yeah, we're worried about like civilians getting hurt near him. Yeah, that'd be great.
Another one I thought of, and this is kind of boring. I don't know how you would make this job interesting, but it's so perfectly tailored for a guy with spider sense. Risk management. A guy who shows up for the insurance companies and like, oh, is this dangerous? Is this too dangerous? This place here, my spider sense is going off, so it's dangerous.
Right. Like, did you check these airbags like thoroughly? Yes, we did. You need to check them again.
Peter Parker, it's like you have a sixth sense or something.
Right. Well, then he has to deal with how like when they don't fix them and how that becomes a big problem. And he's like, okay, he's a whistleblower now and everything.
He has to fight big business like the auto companies who are like, sure, it'll kill you, but I mean, we're not going to recall it or anything.
Right, exactly. My only other pitch was, and this is more like a down in his luck, Peter Parker's life sucks kind of thing, waste disposal, like him becoming a garbage man.
That's cool, too.
He, basically just like, it's early hours, you're kind of like, you're not with a lot of people. He could also like web up some of the like most of like the block and get it out of there if he needs to bail. I mean, like it's just kind of a job that's like it's where Peter's like, I need this job, I need money, I got to do something. What am I gonna do? He takes this gig because like it's another connection. Maybe like Matt Murdock is mayor, and he's like, I can pull some strings that like get you a really really good job that pays like $75K a year. And he's like,
yeah,
and it's waste management.
Also, with waste management, you get unions and Teamsters, so Spider-Man's got a little bit of a mob connection there if you ever wanted to pursue that and, kind of hear through the grapevine what's going down. Also, from watching Law & Order, early morning garbage pickup is always when they find the corpses.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, like, I'm telling you, these are just like little gigs that, even if it's not like a long-standing status quo, like, remember that long run when Sal wrote that series when Peter Parker was a garbage man? Like, no, just a couple of issues and then he gets fired, I mean, unless like he's in a union and then they're like, no, you can't get fired. Like,
you literally can't.
You're one of us now.
Oh, that's sweet. Then Spider-Man's got like the Fellowship of Garbage Men who come to help Spider-Man when he's in trouble.
I love that.
Guys, I need a blockade. I need like 6 trucks around here to stop like Dr. Octopus or something.
Yeah. Mr. Roboto, Bruce Wayne makes a good super nanny, I guess. I mean, most people die under his watch, but I guess that's true.
I mean, super nanny in the way where he's like, how will I deal with this problem? Alfred, deal with this problem.
Yeah, Alfred's the super nanny.
Yeah.
Creed Luvari have Captain America make videos like in the MCU.
Oh, yeah.
You're in detention. Like, yeah, that'd be great. It's a great way for him to like license out his persona.
I also thought for Captain America, one of the ones I wrote for him, lobbyist, but lobbyist for good.
Right.
Because if Captain America showed up and said, hey, push this law, I'm fucking Captain America. If you don't do it, you're un-American.
Yeah, I could see Cap being like, no. Like, him finding a tremendous conflict of interest there, though.
It's true. It would be nice to see him combat that and have to look at that for a minute.
That's true. Being like, this is how the world works. This is how things get done. But I also fundamentally disagree with it. But how do I take it down? I don't know.
Human resources might also be good for Steve. He's a team leader and everything. He likes to help out.
Yeah, although, and this is a tip for all of you listening and watching at home, the human resources department at whatever job you are there to do is not there to protect you.
No, it's here to protect the company.
That's right. So, like, let's say you have, like, a really bad experience and you want to tell human resources about it, and they're like, your manager, prepare to be fired. Because they're there to get you, the squeaky wheel, out of there to protect the company from being, like, exposed for whatever bullshit they're working on. So,
which again, to see Cap have to face that and be like, well, I don't agree how this works at all.
Yeah, but never trust HR.
No.
Mr. Roboto, Aquaman would be the ultimate marine biologist. I could see him not really cutting corners, being like, I know what that fish is and this is what it is. And they're like, how? And he's like, well, because, oh, no. I don't have a degree or anything.
I had an Aquaman pitch, but it wasn't for marine biologist, though. It was like for aqua vet is what it is. Like, oh, we've got a really sick porpoise. Arthur, can you help us? No. Oh, he's just got a headache.
Right, exactly. Or like, nope, he's got like fish cancer. There's nothing you can do about it.
Like he becomes a fish whisperer, and then you have like a whole thing where like his villain could be like an evil sea world where they're keeping like Shamu hostage, and it's like, oh, what's the problem, Arthur? He doesn't like being in a tank and doing tricks.
Right, exactly. He's miserable, like anyone would be.
And then, like, if you ever saw that documentary Blackfish about one of those whales that snapped and started killing people, where it's like, no, really, you should let this thing go. It says it's going to start killing you if you don't.
Yeah, this one is straight up homicidal. You do not want to deal with this fish.
Yeah, it's a bad fish. It's a bad mammal. Got to release it back into the wild.
Yeah. Nathan Berg, Magneto Jeweler. I mean, dude's being like, yeah, I can manipulate the metal around these jewels. Like, yeah, I could see him doing that.
I could see him being a really good watchmaker, too, because he can control all the intricate little pieces.
Completely. And that's like how maybe he doesn't even do it for money. He like breaks into different like watch places and he's like, it calms me down.
It's my therapy there. Like, if I can't play chess in the park, go and I tune all these clocks. Ooh, pianos, too. He could do that, too, because there's a lot of metal and strings in there he could do stuff with as well.
There you go. Chase Eichler, also Nightcrawler becomes an Uber. Lol. I don't know how, I mean, like, he could charge for that. I don't know, it requires hugging.
Yeah. But he's so fuzzy, though, apparently.
That's true. He is great. Nightcrawler, straight up, well, like, we already know how Nightcrawler makes his money, because, like, way back in the day, you remember those great Banff dolls?
Oh, yeah.
Like Kitty Pryde or Ileana Rasputin when she was a kid used to clutch and play with? You know he's getting residuals on that. He better be.
If not, he's getting screwed.
Terror of Death, but Wonder Woman's already an author pre-Flashpoint, apparently.
Really? What did she write?
I don't know. Silvery Cricket, Wolverine Inner City Youth Counselor.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he loves taking wayward young girls under his wing and helping them out. So, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I could see him
Jonathan.
being a gym teacher like the joke in the X-Men movie. What do you teach, Jim?
No, he teaches art.
Oh, that's right. He does teach art. Well, I could do both. I
That's
teach
an
art
X2.
and...
I remember being like, art? How do you back that up? I guess that's how it is. It's like you don't. Let's see. Jonathan Chow. Dick as a dancer.
Dick has had probably more jobs than anyone else. In fact, it was Nightwing that inspired me to do this one.
Also, he wants you to come to Fan Expo.
If I get again, I want to. I really want to, but New York is killing my wallet already.
Yeah.
And it's before that, so I need to kind of keep as much money as I can. Trust me, I'd love to. I got invited to 2 London cons as a guest, actually, and I might not even be able to make those.
No, you should definitely see if you can do that, because that'd be freaking dope.
I can probably make the one in October, but not the one in September.
Okay. Mr. Giggles, Moppy would be the mod, or Mopey would be the mod for the YouTube Spider-Man. That's true. He would. He'd put out, he's a go-getter.
He'd do a good job. Speaking of Nightwing, I had 2 for Nightwing. Tell me what you think of these. So again, Nightwing has had more jobs than anyone. He's been like a personal trainer. He's been a cop. He's worked at the docks. I think he's owned a bar. He's owned a circus.
Yeah.
And the one thing all these jobs have in common, and it's something Tim Seeley really hit home in his run, is Nightwing saying, I am a traveler in my blood. I am a gypsy. I get itchy feet. I hate staying anywhere for too long. It's the carny in me.
Yeah.
We know that he loves his costumes and he loves doing crazy flips and everything. I want to see Nightwing professional wrestler because they always go from town to town.
Yeah.
And he could just fight crime at every town he went to. And he would be able to use his amazing skills. And you could kind of do like a thing where like some of the other performers get mad at him because he's so naturally gifted.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I love that.
That would be one. And I also thought of Dick Grayson, insurance adjuster, because the deal is, they're about making you whole again after an accident.
Yeah.
And they got to work with the police, and they got to work with the firemen, they got to work with everyone, and Dick's a real people person. Plus, it would be a good way to stay on top of crimes, too.
That's true. Yeah, he'd be fun as that. That'd be a great way to use his time.
Plus, he'd have to wear a suit, and I don't think he's ever had a job where he's had to wear a suit.
Oh, no, but he would hate it, which is great.
Yeah, he'd be like, stupid tie. And, of course, he would wear a black suit with a blue tie.
Naturally.
And
he'd look great, and the girls would all be like...
And Babs Tarr would do a version of it that would look really nice.
Oh, no question.
And that would be a thing.
Silvery Cricket, Kamala Khan has a super large following for her fan fictions. I'd like to see her try and write a Twilight-style young adult novel.
Oh, yeah, that would be funny if she tried to transition into that, where she does, like, the 50 Shades thing, where it's like, yeah, I just tweaked a couple of the names, and now they're turning it into a movie.
Absolutely. No, that's... Yeah, I became the #1 author on Amazon overnight.
Yep, it was really easy, and now I don't have to worry about money forever, because, like, she's so young now, she doesn't even have a job yet. That's something they haven't done yet. We've seen her first kiss, but we have not seen her first job.
Yeah, and I wonder how that would go over. There's a lot of options for her.
Absolutely.
Cam, one more thought. It'd be fun to see Stark run an Avengers theme park, repulsor-powered rides, unstable molecule trampolines, be a high-tech Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
And then they'd all be a little pissed in where it's like, hey, Tony, we feel like, you're kind of selling our struggle shorts here by turning it into a gaudy tourist attraction and charging Disneyland prices.
Yeah, exactly. I would love that. I mean, that's something I don't think Stark would run himself, but he would definitely license.
Oh, yeah. I had a couple for Stark here. Again, I had to, much like Batman, I'm like, well, what's he good at? What does he know?
Right.
He knows partying. He likes to party, rock the party. Sometimes he does it a little too much, and then you get demon in the bottle. I would like to see, like, maybe if Iron Man lost a bunch of his money, he had to become Iron Man nightclub owner.
Yeah, I could see him being a nightclub. I mean, it's definitely I've seen him at them.
Yeah, where he's like, oh, I've partied in enough of these, so surely I should know how to run one, right? And doing so would have him be super close to drugs and booze and, extra relationship affairs and everything. So to see him really be tempted at this job that he's really good at, but that is slowly killing him.
It would be fun to see him interact with, that street level problem. Like if Tombstone or, what's his name? Hammerhead. I'm thinking of the guy from Luke Cage.
Diamondback.
Diamondback shows up, and they're like, "Yeah, hi. Who told you could open a club here?" And
you got to pay
Stark's
protection.
like, have you seen who owns this place? It's me. I'm Iron Man. Get that crap out of here.
And then instead of bouncers, you have like Iron Man drones.
Oh yeah, it'd just be robot. It'd be Iron Man suits. That'd be great.
It'd be Club Iron is what he would call it, and be like, yeah, come to Club Iron and
Yeah.
party with me, Tony Stark.
Right? Or the Forge or something.
Oh, that's a pretty good one, too. I also thought one he could do, addiction counselor, because as we've seen, he does go to AA and everything, and that he has conquered his demons and he's helped other people do it. It would be fun if he just, on top of being Iron Man, went around the Marvel Universe and helped heroes with their addictions, and like he was a sponsor for everyone.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too. I'd like to see that as like a side gig, not even like paid, just he does it.
Yeah.
Will I Am Gold and Steve Rogers as a high school teacher. I agree. I think that'd be fun. Mr. Roboto, Vision, the internet modem and tech support.
I had one for Cyborg where I'm like, how is Cyborg not like an app millionaire? How has he not invented like an app with his robot parts?
Right, he just thinks of it and then it just manifests. I mean, that would make sense. Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't have to think about the coding. It just formulates.
Or, maybe him and his dad could go into business together like Sanford and Son and be like, hey, these amazing robot parts you built me, Dad? How about we go to like, I don't know, veterans hospitals and places where kids have lost limbs, and how about we like, give them limbs and teach them how to use them?
Yeah, I think that'd be great. That's smart.
And then maybe it becomes a problem where it's like, oh no, some of these people are using these limbs for evil. Is this our fault now? But we can't keep the technology to ourselves. That's greedy and hoarding.
Yeah. I mean, basically having him be like a blue-collared Iron Man is probably the best move for that character if you're not going to put him back on the Titans.
Yeah, how no one has done that. And he's had multiple runs, too, and no one can figure out what to do with Victor.
No. Wookie Drew, Deadpool is a call center worker. Merc Help Desk. I like that, too.
That's fun. That's funny.
Joshua Wright, Deadpool starts a YouTube vlog. For him, it's about the fourth wall, but the other heroes find out and lose their shit because they remember the New Warriors. Thinking about that whole thing with the Civil War problem.
Stop breaking the fourth wall, Deadpool. You're causing us to go into these real crises.
I think I'd see like Deadpool be like, I started on YouTube, but I kept getting content violations. So like I have a blog on Pornhub or something.
There you go. I could see him being a big Insta star, Deadpool.
Oh, big time. Or a Snapchat star.
Oh yeah. Is Snapchat still a thing, or has that gone away?
No, it's still a thing. I mean, like I'm not on it, but like
Neither am I.
Guru Lahima, Kitty Pryde child youth worker. Yeah, I agree with that.
She basically already is.
Right? Preston Bryant, why don't they use these simple ideas, and do you think any of them might actually happen? Yeah, I think like as long as the characters are alive, there's always a possibility. And if they make the most sense right now, like then they will make sense to other people when they have these ideas as well.
Here's another one that came to me. Why don't we see more heroes doing combat sports? I quite enjoyed Luke Fox when he was first invented until they made him like another generic scientist like his dad. Yeah. He did cage fights. What if Black Widow, what if someone unstoppable like Natasha Romanoff became like female MMA champion?
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, there's no performance enhancers, there's no special thing. I think Black Widow did have the Infinity Formula, but no more. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love that. What's that movie that I'm thinking of? You know what? It wasn't a movie. It was fucking Iron Fist. It was Colleen Wing when she would like sneak off and get into MMA fights. Like
exactly.
Just do that. That'd be great. Yeah, that's a great use of any cool female character.
Just do that for no one can stop you. And again, like you said, I went with Black Widow because she has nothing extra. She's just that goddamn good.
Yeah. Louis Ezigan saying, does anyone else see the face in the brick wall? I don't, but if you take a screenshot, show it to me. I'd like to see it. The Terror of Death, if I remember correctly, I believe it was the books on diplomacy and philosophy was the book that Wonder Woman wrote.
How very Greek of her.
Right, exactly. Terry Smolka, John and Damien teachers teach the new young heroes. I mean, that'd be great for them to be like mentors, I suppose. Except that they're so young, I don't know if it would fly.
They're technically the youngest. I actually did have some for Clark Kent here.
Let's hear 'em.
I think we've joked about this before. What if Clark Kent got into like NPR? What if he started doing like motivational speeches and stuff on the radio, and he's got like this very prairie home companion thing about him, and he's like, wow, I'm actually making more money at this than I did working at the paper, and I'm reaching more people too.
Right, exactly. No, I love that. I like the idea of Clark having a very peaceful job.
Yeah, something mellow, and it's like no one would ever expect that dude would be Superman.
Totally. A couple of mine totally I like the NPR thing. That's a crazy idea. It also allows him to work different, like his own hours and stuff like that. The only pitches I had for Superman, the first one was farmer,
Yeah.
lead carpenter.
Yeah, he could do that. In the Beyond universe, he was a firefighter, and I thought that was actually pretty cool because
Yes.
literally nothing could hurt him.
Right, and the other one was firefighter because like he can run into a burning building and then miraculously end up out of it. You know, like you can explain him disappearing,
Yeah.
and he can also be very effective. And because there isn't a fire every few seconds, he can be Superman the rest of the time.
Absolutely. Another one I had for him, this was kind of what his dad was, but I don't see how you could be this on Earth and make money. A conservationist for the planet Earth. I mean, he kind of does that already by stopping volcanoes and landslides and shit.
Yeah, I think there's a way for you to leverage that into a career. I definitely agree he should be. I mean, I definitely agree he is one, but I like the idea of him being like, no, I should try and like influence people as a person and show them that like they can do this too, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and it also, again, draws a nice parallel to him and his father being like, I don't want Earth to blow up like Krypton blew up.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that should be actually a big thing for him is like making sure that Earth doesn't just like betray itself.
That should be his gun violence, right?
Yeah. Jam Call X, any low-level telepath hero as a special needs teacher or aide, being able to understand them better than most.
Oh, that's really nice, actually.
I like that idea. I also like the idea of like a couple of like someone who's not very good at it being like, oh, I could do that, and then but having terrible advice, just being like, oh, it's not as easy as just like knowing what you're thinking. It's knowing how to take that and leverage it or into something positive.
This sounds like a terrible idea for Quentin Quire to start doing.
Right, exactly. Will.i.am Golden, Frank Castle owning a security company. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. Although I don't think he would like the day job hours. He's like, no, if I'm not killing, I'm thinking about killing.
Yeah. Mr. Roboto, Silver Surfer, Cosmic Messenger. Yeah, him being like the Mercury of the Marvel Universe. I like that.
They're in 3 minutes or it's free.
Yeah. Mr. Roboto said that. Josh Bowman, Roy Harper, pharmacist.
Oh, with his background, I don't think he could get that job. He wouldn't pass a certain thing. I do have some Green Arrow ones, though.
Let's hear the Green Arrow ones.
I thought of this one after seeing Ant-Man. What if Oliver Queen ran like a really hippy-dippy, like farm-to-table restaurant? That seems like something he could do, and like he'd be a maitre d', and he'd be up front, and he'd be like, "Oh, let me show you to your table. And let me tell you about the food you're about to eat. That's infused kale and quinoa."
Yeah. Queen, damn it, that'd be great. I love that.
And the restaurant could have a cute name, of course.
Yeah. Quiver or
the Green Pantry or something.
Yeah. Friar Tuck's.
That works too. I was also thinking maybe spurred on by Black Canaries, like, kind of crappy upbringing. Mm-hmm. What if Oliver Queen, again, in one of the many times he loses his money because he loses it like every 5 to 8 years, what if he became a social worker?
Yeah, that's a great job for him.
Trying to help people, like, because, he sees with both his sidekicks and the woman he loves, he tries to, fix social ills that way and really put his way out there. And also, if he runs into a problem that's too harsh or too real, he's like, look, Oliver Queen couldn't fix this, but later tonight I'm coming back as Green Arrow to fix this.
Exactly. No, I think, and I like the idea of him being like, Green Arrow can't fix all these problems, but Oliver Queen can, and vice versa.
Yeah, why aren't there more superheroes who are social workers? That seems like such like a way to stay on top of social ills and problems and really be able to help people at a certain level.
I don't know. It's a harder job than all that. It doesn't pay very well.
Yeah. And you probably couldn't keep doing it because it's like, hey, Mr. Queen, all the cases you work, why do the bad people involved all end up getting beaten up and shot with arrows?
I don't know. You're going to have to ask him about that.
I don't know. I know nothing.
Yeah. Jam Call X, Tony Stark's Armor Wars Battle League.
Oh, like professional robot fighting. Yeah.
We saw that in the beginning of the new Iron Man book.
That's right, we did. He did do robot fights for a bit.
Yeah. Will.i.am Golden, a superpowered wrestling organization. I mean, like that episode of JLU.
It exists in Marvel, too. The Thing was one. D-Man was one.
Yeah. We got a buck from somebody. Preston Bryant, do you think any of the publishers watch your shows? And wouldn't this be an easy way to get new ideas? It would be nice to see some of these characters get new updated jobs. I think that I'm not so arrogant to assume that like anyone on the editorial level at either of the companies is subscribed to here to be like, oh, they're on, and I see it's a thing I can use. But I do think that like once you put an idea out there into the world, it's no longer yours, and
It's true.
Like let's say we pitched that great idea I had about Bruce Wayne running for president, right? It's
Yeah.
not the most original idea. It's not an idea that other people haven't had. So as a result, like because someone says it out loud, like I just did, someone could have said that at an editorial level or at like the lowest level or like from a fan perspective and tweet that at an editor, and that editor
It's
being
true.
like, that's not a bad idea, or
It penetrates the brain.
it
Yeah.
penetrates, well, not just the brain, but it also penetrates like the culture itself. It penetrates that like wall between artist and fan, and suddenly becomes an idea that like maybe they didn't know directly come from there. It's like when joke theft comes into play, but it's not deliberate. It's just kind of like, oh, it just came from the world.
The collective subconscious. Yeah.
Yeah. That being said, like we've had some very specific ideas that have come out there, so like you be
Very.
the judge.
But very specific, and we do know at least the names of one or two comic creators who do watch this show. So hello.
Yeah, exactly. The Terror of Death. Anyone have one for Bucky Barnes? I think we did. I remember we pitched an idea, but it was more like what to do with him later, like as the Winter Soldier. But
I guess he's still collecting military pension, huh?
right? I mean, yeah. I would. I'd make him like a history professor or something.
Oh yeah, because he lived it. I was there.
Yeah. Silvery Cricket, Steve Rogers, PBS star, painting or history lessons. Dude, Steve Rogers becoming Mr. Rogers is not that far away from an idea.
No. It's really not. Where it's like we just want to follow you around with a camera crew and talk to you, and can you just be inspiring? The world needs inspiration now more than ever, Captain America.
Yeah. Well, hell, just make a Mr. Rogers type show where it's like this is where you get to relax and be yourself. It's just like, hi, I'm Steve, and I like to wear sweater vests and be old.
Yeah.
What was it? And Lewis Southard, Magneto is a legitimate politician.
Like I run the Mutant Action Party.
Yep. Peter Parker is a stand-up comic. That is like, yes. Where is that?
He dated a stand-up. It's shocking no one ever tried to get him to do a tight 3. And then you could have like the whole breaking in thing where he's like, oh, I got to do these open mic nights and I meet all these other crazy comedians.
I've got to do my 5-minute set, but like the Scorpion is attacking,
And all the other comedians think he's like a cokehead or something because he keeps running to the bathroom every 3 minutes to go be Spider-Man.
Totally. Like, yeah, I can't argue the dude's funny, but like, or people like Spider-Man trying a zinger and then being like, that's a Parker bit. What's wrong with you? You joke thief.
Then he meets like Ari Lang and everything. It's like, look, man, that shit'll destroy your life. You gotta stop doing it.
And
thanks, Ari
Nightwing
Lang.
running a a young hero training school like Avengers Academy.
Yeah.
I would call it Titans Academy, and that's your book.
There you go. He's just open to school. Well, what are the dues at Titans Academy is the question.
Well, I mean, it's obviously just funded by Wayne.
That too. Trust fund kid. That's another job he's had.
Yeah.
They've all been trust fund kids.
Will I Am Golden, Dum Dum Dugan is a gym teacher. I mean, like,
Yeah.
sure. And Preston Bryant wants to see Bucky make him a counselor for vets. Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, kind of like Falcon in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Do you? I know you have one for Daredevil. I'm going to save him for last.
I had my best Daredevil. He should become mayor. Then it happened.
Do you have any for Captain Marvel, aka Carol Danvers? We only have time for another couple, so we're gonna just
I got a Flash one and I got a Green Lantern one.
Okay. My Captain Marvel pitch is for her to run as like private security for celebrities.
Nice.
It's kind of fun to see like Carol Danvers like during the day like watching LeBron, like just getting him to the garden.
Professional bodyguard fixer. She's got the military background. She's got the superpowers.
Totally. So let's hear your Green Lantern pitch, and we'll move to the next one.
So Hal's basically had the same job forever. I'm a pilot when I'm on Earth, and I'm not on Earth that much often.
Yeah.
Why has he always been working for Carol for so long? Why doesn't he open like his own aviation company?
Yeah, right? No.
He could.
Queen Industries opens up a thing for him.
Yeah, where it's like, dude, here, use your know-how. You've been at this business. And again, hey, he can like start incorporating crazy alien tech that he's seen out in space and say that he came up with it.
Yeah. Is he that dishonest?
That's what I wonder about Hal. Would he do that, or would he just be like, hey, this is based on a crazy alien thing I saw once?
Yeah, that's true.
I also thought in the day and age where like millionaires like Elon Musk and everything are like, hey, we're doing space travel on our own because NASA's not doing it. You can hitch a ride on the Branson space shuttle to Mars once that becomes a thing.
Yeah.
What if Hal Jordan became like a private space pilot where like, hey, I fly ships, I know space, I will give you a guided tour if you give me money.
Yeah, I love that. That'd be fun. But also, you get to explore the moral quandaries of, like, you're basically, like, an opportunist. Like, you're using... I could see the Guardians having a huge problem with it. Like, no, you can't use your lantern ring for personal gain. Your
to make money.
Access to the cosmos is informing your changes.
Yeah, that's a dick move, bro.
Yeah. Okay, let me jump into Daredevil really quick, because you did yours, I guess.
Yeah.
I could see Daredevil becoming a lobbyist.
Oh, yeah.
I could see him becoming a journalist.
Mm-hmm. That is the trajectory.
I could see him becoming an insurance broker.
Yeah.
This is if like we just decide to throw away the law thing.
Yeah.
Just him like selling insurance to different groups and brokering those deals and like working out the best possible things. It's a job. It's a desk job that's technical that requires some kind of like legal know-how. He's got
the perfect face for it too. He's like, look, you're gonna want insurance because bad stuff can happen at a moment's notice. Tap, 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 tap.
I also would have liked to have seen him becoming a law professor.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Or an author.
He did in the Wade run. He wrote his life story.
Oh, there you go. Well,
but when people briefly knew who he was, but I guess all those books have to go away now because no one knows who he is again.
Yeah, I guess those books were written by a ghost author.
If he did it, this is how he'd do it.
Right. If I were Daredevil, this would be my book.
I'm not saying I'm Daredevil, but if I was Daredevil.
Yeah. Patient Zero, Lobo, intergalactic stand-up comedy. Think Dice Clay.
Oh, bastard.
Oh, I'm a dick. An awkward Mexican Martian Manhunter is a sculptor. I don't know how well that pays, but I'd like to see him do it.
You figure if he can contort himself into everything, he can contort the clay into stuff.
Yeah, that'd be great. That's a good.
He should be a baker. He should make cookies.
He would freak out.
He would. Too much fire.
Yeah. Too much cookies.
Professional cookie taster. Nope, not so good. Okay, these are good.
Out. You know how Chacos make him lose his mind.
It's true.
So all right, what's your final one again?
I had a flash pitch right here. So Barry Allen, yet another guy who's had the same job forever, it feels like. He's smart. He's a chemist because they're not going to let a dumb guy work in crime scene. Also, he's technically a cop because of this.
Right.
What if he ever got kicked off the force? Like, what if he ever went too far and he became Barry Allen, private detective?
Oh, my God. A hard-boiled super speedster detective.
Yeah, like he thinks it's going to be cool. Like he thinks it's going to be like all those film noir movies, but it's actually more like Jessica Jones. And he's like, this is lame. I just take pictures of guys cheating on their wives. I don't like this.
Yeah, this is just depressing. I don't want to do this.
To like really see him be driven through and like, man, it was easier when I was just a CSI. Also, chemist? What if he actually like got into chemistry somehow? Because again, if he works as a lab tech, and if he can build stuff like the Speed Force treadmill and everything, he's clearly not a dumbass. He should be applying himself to more science.
I agree, but maybe like those increased responsibilities would draw him away from being able to actually do his job.
This is true.
But I do like that idea. I think why not actually do something with his character? The dude hasn't. I mean, like, how far can you stretch crime scene investigator?
I mean, I guess there's always going to be crime, so it's a growth industry, murder.
Yeah, that's true.
That they're always going to need him.
Yeah. So these are just a few characters that status quos can change, and it would be a natural sidestep. It's not just like, hey, let's make Superman a clown, let's make Spider-Man into a cop. Like, no, because I don't think those are natural decisions. I've seen Spider-Man become a cop, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I don't like that.
I'm surprised we never said porn star for any of these people. I'm surprised that wasn't one we could put in there. But again, that's not a growth industry either. If you actually talk to anyone in the adult industry, they're like, nah, man, it's very niche. It's rough out there.
I can't say I've ever spoken to a member of that industry, so.
I've interviewed a couple people here and there, and they're like, it's rough.
Mm-hmm. I could see Dick Grayson, I guess, getting into it. He doesn't have to change the name.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's like, okay, so what's your porn name? Dick Grayson. No, that's your real name. It's fine. It's good.
Yeah, use it. Fine. Works for me.
Go for it.
Last super chat, Jam Call X, Mystique, Copycat, and Kamala are shape-shifting actresses, and Falcon would be your eye-in-the-sky traffic reporter.
Oh, that's a good one. Put Clint Barton on TV.
Yeah. Get Falcon on get a webcam or a what's it called? What are those drone cameras on Falcon?
GoPros, yeah.
Actually, Falcon doesn't even need that. He's got Red Wing.
Yes.
Red Wing is the traffic reporter.
He's basically halfway there. Oh man, you could have a whole superhero news team.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my god. Yeah, that's an alternate reality, like kind of like Bombshell's story.
What if they all became Anchorman?
Yeah, you can do that. You can release that to coincide with the Murphy Brown reboot show.
Yeah. Oh, as Alex Combs says, it's Hercules who should be the porn star. Yes.
Yeah, big time. How do we know he wasn't?
Exactly. He's lived an interesting life. I'm sure Thor would give it a try too.
Yeah. Mr.
Verily
Roboto,
say I.
Sorry, Mr. Roboto, Gorilla Grodd animal actor. I don't think he demeaned himself in that regard.
No, but he could do it.
It's true. But stick around for the end of the show. We're going to be doing a 10-minute bit at the end for the patrons. And, of course, stick around to find out more about the live performance from ComicPOP over at Zap Comics on August 15th. It's a Wednesday at 7 p.m. in Wayne, New Jersey. We're going to be doing a live taping, and so we want to see you guys there, and of course get all the laughter that we'll elicit from you on tape. So come on by and hang out with us. We're looking forward to meeting you, and maybe we'll bring some posters and stuff. We'll make it a whole thing. Incidentally, also we're going to be at the Keystone Comic Con on September 15th.
Nice.
That's a Saturday in Philadelphia. Come out, meet us. We're going to have a huge panel. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thanks a lot for hanging out with us, guys, and we'll see you guys next time, of course. I am Sal.
And I'm Joel.
Thanks a lot. Bye. All right, the show is now technically completed, so let's take a second and then resume with the other show.
We will.
We're going to stick with Fantastic Four.
Yeah, we might as well. That's what everyone seemed to be super interested in.
All right. What was it? Okay. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to One Shots. This is a show that spins right out of Elseworlds Exchange with myself. I'm Sal from ComicPOP, and my co-host Joel from Cape Joel. Hey, Joel, what's going on, man?
Hello.
In the super chats, I just want to address that the Terror of Death says, "Hey, Joel, did you hear that Hasbro is actually making a sequel to the 2017 Power Rangers movie?"
I did. I almost don't believe it. I wouldn't be shocked if it ends up falling through.
Definitely, I can't believe that's a thing. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit, but for about 10 minutes, about a given topic that was asked for from the audience during Elseworlds. In this particular case, we're going to talk about the return of the Fantastic Four. The first issue of Fantastic Four's return has come out this week. Dan Slott wrote it. Sarah Pacelli drew it. And,
beautifully.
And so we're gonna have probably some spoilers, but we'll talk more about like our reactions to the issue and its ramifications on the future of the franchise. Joel, how'd you feel about Fantastic Four #1?
I enjoyed it, but I fear I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as I've been enjoying Marvel 2-in-1.
Big time. No, I love Marvel 2-in-1, and that sold me on issue 1. This issue felt pretty good. I liked it, but I was also kind of worried about it. I was worried because it's written by Dan Slott, who knows a lot about Marvel, has read a lot of Marvel comics, and hopefully doesn't love the Fantastic Four the way he loves Spider-Man. Because the more Dan Slott Spider-Man books that I go back and read, the more I wonder if he even likes the character. Like, there's a moment where he is in Ends of the Earth, and he is pouring acid on the Sandman, and he's like, "I'm trying to stop Dr. Octopus because even though I don't have any evidence, I know he's up to no good, and I'm willing to torture you to get to him." I was just like, what the crap is this guy? And then he's like, "I can't believe I almost went that far." And I'm like, no, you did, though. Like, I don't know if and I wonder if the dude loves the Fantastic Four or if he's just loves the money from the check. Because, like, I think Bendis kind of burned the bridge behind him as far as Marvel Exodus to DC.
Yeah.
In, like, a big showy way. Like, if Dan Slott had jumped ship to DC, like, I don't know, like a year ago, or instead of running Spider-Man into the ground, I feel like they would have made a bigger deal about it. But now
Right.
with Bendis and the kind of like soft reaction to him, now
Yep.
it's like, oh, like Dan Slott's back at DC. I don't know if I want to read that.
Will?
But yeah, what do you? Why are you like not 100% sold on this?
The thing that got me is that they actually retread a lot of ground from Marvel 2-in-1, which I
Yes.
really wasn't hoping that they were going to do, but they did. They're like, yeah, Ben and Johnny, they're back together. They're friends now. Except they're not, because we need some, drama for this scene coming forward. I'm like, but you did a thing. So this, you confirmed to me that Marvel 2-in-1 will end with them not finding the family then.
Oh, absolutely. Oh no, we know. And well, the Marvel 2-in-1 book won't be ending, thankfully, but their story certainly will. Like,
Yeah.
their globe-hopping multiversal trip will be over,
Yeah.
which is the thing that I'm really enjoying.
Mm-hmm. It felt a lot like a Zero issue, didn't it?
Absolutely. No, it totally did. I was not... I liked it.
Same.
Number one, I didn't feel like, art-wise, it was Sarah Pacelli's strongest work.
Oh, yeah?
I did. I was like, this is good, but like I had to be reminded that it was Sarah Pacelli. I was like, oh, and it could be the colorist, it could be the inks, because she really needs like strong inks and colors, and like it if you compare this issue with Spider-Man,
Yeah.
they're not even close to the same level.
No.
Of breaking boundaries, trying new things, vibrancy, color. It was very kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. It is interesting there to get to see what goes down with the Thing and Alicia Masters, see them take the next step. I've always really liked them as a couple, and it's nice to see that they seem to be getting a big focus going forward.
Yeah, I'm worried about that, because I wonder how much of a fan Slott is and how much research he's done. Like, Alicia Masters was Thing's on-again, off-again girlfriend, but she also banged Johnny.
Yes, I was going to say, that's a thing that totally happened.
Yeah, and there was some, like, real drama there, which also included her being impersonated by Elijah and stuff. So, like, you could go in a lot of different directions with that. We could also, like, this could be the return of the Skrulls in a big bad way.
Yes, in fact, I think it should be. In fact, they seek to be saying all the old Fantastic Four ephemera will be coming back.
I hope that's true, but I gotta tell you, like, I just finished reading John Byrne's Trial of Galactus collection again, but I was doing it in preparation for an upcoming show, and it's so quintessentially Fantastic Four, but also quintessentially Marvel.
So Marvel.
And I was like, and comparing them, and it's hard to really compare them. Like there's a book from 30 years ago with a guy who was like a pioneer of that kind of the Marvel that people want to elicit and remind you of today. And so it's not going to be the same thing. And in fact, it feels a little antiquated now that you like read it. But like this, I don't know. It felt like it was trying to be Fantastic Four, but it didn't go far enough.
Again, it's weird to think Zdarsky captured that feeling better with only 2 members.
Totally. No, Zdarsky crushed it. Like, that felt like not just the that had the most Byrne-esque feeling for me. Like,
Totally.
This felt like not just the Fantastic Four are back, but it also felt like I'm finally reading a Marvel comic book again.
Yeah.
This felt
nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a first issue. I don't want to be too rough on it. They're going places where we didn't even get the reunion this issue, which actually shows an interesting amount of restraint, because I assumed we were just going to open this one up and they were going to be back.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I thought it was just going to be like, okay, well, all the bullshit is over, we're back. And it's like, no, it looks like it's going to be kind of like a retread of 2-in-1.
Yeah, which doesn't excite me.
No, like Johnny and Ben have to go save them, but they actually know for real that they're there, and it's like...
This time, yeah.
But I saw it done by a person who had a story to tell they really wanted to tell. I hope you have a good story to tell, Dan, but I wonder if it'll be as good as the one I just finished.
I feel like they really didn't expect it to go that way. I don't think they thought that Zdarsky's 2-in-1 would be as well received as it was.
Completely. No, they were. I don't think they were, because I think they would have made a bigger deal about the book.
So much to the point that the book is going to continue after like issue 12, but we might be following a new 2-in-1 now.
Yeah, no, there's gonna, well, and that's the way Marvel 2-in-1 should be. Like, it should
Yes.
be a book where it's like, where it's two different characters. Just like Marvel Team Up should always kind of be Spider-Man and then it's
Yeah.
like somebody else. But like, it doesn't have to be. It's not called Spider-Man Marvel 2-in-1 or Spider-Man Marvel Team Up. It's just called Marvel Team Up. And sometimes I would buy Marvel Team Up, and it would be like it would be like Namor and Captain Marvel, and I'm like, what the crap is happening? Where's Spider-Man? It's like, no, this isn't a Spider-Man book. It's just that he's such a loner. He's the one we team him up with.
Yeah, I saw someone kick around the idea where it's like, ooh, wouldn't it be fun if Moving On Marvel 2-in-1 was was an Iron Fist and Luke Cage book? And I'm like, oh, don't toy with my emotions like that. And it won't be because they're all on digital now.
Yeah. Those digital books are killing me. Like, not because they're bad, but because, like, there's absolutely no attention given to them.
I've been the biggest booster of them. I haven't even had a chance to read them yet.
Yeah. Really quick before we go, I wanted to address the super chats. The Terror of Death saying it was a fucking awesome, just beautiful man. He liked the issue.
Yeah.
And Jamal Kino saying, Sal, I wish I could go to your live show, but I have to work, so I wanted to send this. And Joel, you're still my favorite YouTuber. So thank you very much, man. And of course, yes, what's it called? I'm glad to hear that that even though you want to see my live show, that Joel is your favorite YouTuber. That's nice.
I think he made both of us together, YouTubers.
Oh, fair enough. Well, I do appreciate it.
We said YouTubers. We can have more than one.
Yeah. I think that I ultimately have hope. It wasn't a bad issue by any stretch of the imagination at all. It was actually a lovely issue, and I really enjoyed it. I'm not wild about Pichelli's version of the Thing.
Aren't you?
I don't know. Just like I wasn't a big fan of Ribick's The Thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like seeing his like uvula. Like I want to see like the Thing's mouth should more or less be Pac-Man. It should just be a black like void. Like, I want him to be just like a rock monster. I don't want to imagine there's organs in there and stuff.
I did like Hoodie Thing when the press was talking to him. He's like, leave me alone.
Yeah, that was straight up the like, what was that Drake meme where it's like, when I like this or I don't like this? Yeah.
It was literally that. Also, too, talking to all the past members of the Fantastic Four. Hey, remember Luke Cage was one? Hey, remember Medusa was one?
Yeah. Oh, and it was also nice to see a reference to She-Hulk and Wyatt Wingfoot's old relationship.
Yes. Oh my God, Wyatt Wingfoot. Where the fuck has he been for the last couple decades? Didn't he get like oil rich and disappear?
I guess.
I think that was the thing, like his old tribe found oil and he's like, hey guys, I'm gonna go be rich on my reservation with the oil.
Later, bitches.
Yeah, bye.
And the Terror of Death saying, unfortunately, I will not be able to make it to either of your live shows, but good luck. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it anyway. But yeah, so that wraps up our time. Want to thank everybody for listening and, of course, for catching this special episode of One Shots, Fantastic Four #1 edition. And we'll see you guys next time in another episode. Thanks a lot for watching and listening. And thank you, Joel, for hanging out.
Always a pleasure.
And we'll see you guys then. I'm Sal.
I'm Joel.
Bye-bye.